Hiya, how y'all doing today? Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Cece Simsmas, but you can just call me Cece, and it's great to finally meet you. Today we are doing a really cool video. This is my contribution to the Merry Simsmas collab, which I'm so excited to do. Some amazing creators have all got involved in this. Me and Random Gaming are hosting this collab, and I've got a list of all the names, so you're gonna have to check out everybody's videos, all their content. We're all using the hashtag #MerrySimsmasCollab as well, so keep an eye out for it. So I spent a very long time on Pinterest, so I have a board full of inspiration for this build. So I'll show you some of the inspiration that I'm using throughout this build so you can see kind of what I'm leaning towards, where I'm trying to go with this. But let's just have fun with it. The theme for this build is Simsmas. It's as Christmassy as I can make it. So I spent a long time doing a lot of decor around this place. There's so many reefs and snowflakes and things like that. We've got the colour scheme of green and red running all throughout the build. So we're just gonna cover the place in Christmas. Now, roofing is never my friend, but I kind of knew what I wanted to do here, so I'll show you some pictures of what I was going for the front. But I could not work out how to do the back. I had nothing to show me inspiration for that, and the way that I had done the front made it really difficult to lay out the roofing in the back, so it took me a long time of moving things around to find a way that worked. But I think we got there in the end. This video is going to be a little bit on the longer side. I usually tend to do videos that are about 10-15 minutes for my builds, but I guess we'll call this a Christmas special or something and say that's why it's longer. But this is about half an hour or something. There is just so much that goes into this build, and I spent so long decorating and perfecting it. It just took a very long time to build. I sped up the footage as much as I could, but we're still kind of at the half-hour mark. And we also definitely needed a family to move into here, so that probably added to the time as well. Now, I'd love to know what kind of traditions you have for Christmas. Growing up, when I was a kid, we were always allowed to open one present on Christmas Eve night. Right before going to bed, we'd get that one present. My parents were usually strategic with it. They would give us something like jammies, so that we'd have like cute Christmas jammies, so when we woke up in the morning, we looked great for photos because we were all matching and all dressed in these like jammies that had little Santas on them or something like that, and it was perfect for them to take photos and videos. I've got an older sister, and despite our 4-year age gap, our parents pretty much always gave us the same thing in a different colour. So when I was growing up, we would come down in the morning, my mum would have like a little pile of presents on either side of the living room, and she would guide us to which one was for each of us. And I would open things and just be looking over at my sister, and I'd see exactly what I'm going to get. It would be an order my mum would have in mind, but I was always slow. I would always be like trying to not tear the wrapping paper, trying to open things carefully, and my sister would just be tearing into it. So I would just look over and be like, oh, that's what the big present is. Like, I would just find out instantly, because whatever she got, I just got it in a different colour. Oh, and we also had stockings growing up. I don't know why. I never questioned it as a kid, but I don't even think anyone else's family does this, but my parents decided to make Santa into some kind of tooth fairy, so we would have stockings hanging in our bedrooms. And it was supposed to entertain us in the morning, because kids always wake up so early, desperate to get downstairs and get all the presents. So that would keep me occupied in my room until I had to go down. So what they used to do is hang it on the side of my bed. But then apparently I got to a certain age and I was like determined to catch Santa out. I was like, I'm going to meet him. It's going to happen. So I would stay awake like all night. And my mum said she used to come to my door and she would come and like sneak to check in, and I'd still be awake, and it just kept happening. And if it wasn't for that, I was sleeping so lightly because I was determined, like if I heard a sound, I'd get up. So she had to start moving my stocking further and further away from my bed, until it got to the point where she had to just have it outside my room, but she had to make it a thing. Like, there had to be a reason. So my sister had to have hers outside her room as well, and she used to hang it on our door handle on the outside of her door. And even to this day, we still do that now. We still do stockings now. The only difference, because me and my sister are adults, we make one for our mum now too, but like, we still have them, and I still have like the same ones from when I was a kid. They're like these white fluffy giant stockings that she got years ago, and I just have it hanging on my door, and I don't even know why I still do it, because I know she's the one who's having to fill it in the morning. Like, We still just like a little bit magic at Christmas, so every single time Christmas Eve night, I'll chuck my stocking in the hall. It's usually even we forget about it and one of us will spot it, and then my mum will be like, "Oh, chuck that in the hall." So I'll just chuck it out in the hall, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll come out and I'm like, "Oh, magical! It's all filled on its own." And it's the same. She always thinks that we forget to do our stocking. I don't know why. She just assumes that we won't have done it. But my sister, usually she does the wrapping. Wrapping is not my game, so she will wrap everything, put it on the stocking, give it to me, and then after I've grabbed my stocking in the morning, I'll get hers out, bring it downstairs, and give it to her. And we both just have a like, oh, it's just magically all filled on its own. We always like to do fun random things growing up for Christmas. I remember my granddad, he used to always dress up like Santa, the full beard, suit, the whole shebang, all of it. And my cousins, when they got a bit older, they were all like, it's granddad. They were like, we don't believe in the magic. This is granddad. That's not Santa. And like when we were all very little, we were petrified of Santa. Our parents would try and get us to like sit on his knee, take a photo with him, but we were always scared as anything. And my granny as well, she used to accidentally say his name all the time, and she'd have to be like, Santa, I mean Santa. And like, so when we got older, we were like, it's granddad. And I remember one of my older cousins, he like decided he was going to unmask Santa, and he had like mentally prepped himself. He was like, I'm doing it today, this is it, it's happening. And he waited his turn, he sat on Santa's knee, and he was like, I'm going to pull the beard off. And as he like went to go and do it, my granddad walked into the room and he was like, you getting your present? And like all of the cousins were like, oh my god, it's really Santa. Oh, I'll quickly show you the photo that I kind of used for the inspiration for this little hallway so you can see the kind of vibe that I'm going for. But what my cousins didn't realise back then was it was a whole thing. All the cousins were in on it. They were all on this plan that they were going to unmask Santa, and that my cousin, he was going to be the one to do it. But what they didn't know was when they were all in the little room discussing this in my granddad's house, they were overheard by everyone. So every one of the uncles and stuff were like, they know it's dad, so we're going to have to do something. We got to keep the magic going a bit longer. So the funny part was when my granddad came into the room and was like, oh, you getting your presents? What my cousin didn't realise was his dad was missing from the room because his dad was the one that was Santa. So their whole genius plan was foiled by the fact that a whole bunch of kids cannot do anything secretly and are very loud. So they were totally overheard, and all the adults were able to plan to kind of throw them off and keep the magic going a bit longer. Which was sweet. My family did everything they could to kind of just keep all the kids believing. They wanted to do it for as long as they could. Now it's funny because we're all older again and the magic starts again because I've got a niece and a nephew and we're now doing these things for them. For this part in the kitchen, I kept seeing these photos with these really nice like hoods over the ovens, but there's nothing like that in game. So I spent a really long time hunting through shelves to try and find something I could replicate it with. I tried a lot of things to try and get it in game, but the best I could find was just sizing up this shelf, which you can do with your square bracket keys. It's not perfect, and when I add the cabinets, the wood tones and the grain in the wood is just a little bit off, but it's as close as I could get it. I think once you add in all the other elements of the kitchen and you add in like all the little decor pieces, all the wee Christmassy bits, it kind of all goes well. It turns out looking better. But you tell me at the end if you think that the sized up shelf kind of works and does replicate that kind of image, or if it's definitely not going well. Also, I wonder if anybody can tell what's missing for this kitchen, because I didn't notice at all. I spent hours building this and going back and forth checking rooms, never noticed once that I'm missing something for the kitchen. And I was so proud of it, well proud of this wee kitchen. I just sent photos of it to my friend. She loves Christmassy stuff. So I was sending her photos once all the little Christmas decor pieces were up. I was well proud of it all. And then I thought, right, I'll film my ending footage. I like to have the camera looking like it's moving from room to room, going off throughout the house. And I thought, I'll have some Sims interacting with objects on the lot while the camera's moving. And when I went to do that in the kitchen, I realised I was missing the only object you need to make a kitchen functional. And I struggled for way too long to work out where I could even put it, because I have all the counters sorted, like the space was all laid out. The way the cabinets were above the oven and stuff, I couldn't fit anything else there. The sink was kind of sorted. I've got like a little bar section. Everything was kind of sorted. That it was so hard to find somewhere to place it, but I ended up doing it off camera. So you'll see in that little ending walkthrough throughout all the house what I ended up doing. But I don't know how I never noticed. I'm usually somebody who forgets to put a bin in the kitchen, not like one of the main only objects you need to make it functional. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie, there has been the odd time that I've forgotten an entire room before. I've like built an entire, like sorted a house, thought I've got a wee masterpiece for my sim, they've got this perfect home to live in, I go into live mode, start playing, and then my sim ends up like needing to go to the toilet or something, and then I'm like, I never built a bathroom, there's not even a toilet on the lot, I never done it whatsoever. But every time I have done that, there's never space to just squeeze a bathroom in, so you end up with some kind of weird little box cut out the side of the house just to like fit a little toilet in. For the living room, I kind of wanted to have, you know, in American TV shows, they always have like a Christmas special where there's magically like a piano in the living room and there's all the family playing board games on the couches and stuff. That was the kind of vibe of what I was thinking. And we needed like a fireplace because Santa's got to get in the house somehow. And I was thinking of keeping that colour scheme, all those reds and greens, especially because most of the Christmas decor is in that kind of palette. So it kind of had to all go together and keep cohesive throughout the house. I did look through all the couches and everything. I looked for other furniture options, but I really felt like the base game couches just hit the nail on the head for this one. I feel like they really went well in this living room. I know things look very white and kind of bland right now, but once we bring in the wallpaper and those kind of colours, because I'm going for more kind of darker reds, greens, and some wooden tones for the walls, and that kind of brings it all together. Now, I don't know why, but this coffee table fought me. I really wanted to alt place a bunch of objects, keep it all seeming kind of messy, cluttered, like little things here, wee centerpiece stuff on that coffee table, but I could not get anything centered. And there's like a plank of wood running straight through the center of that coffee table, so it really lets your eyes focus on it. You can tell when something's not in the middle, and I wanted that garland that runs right across it to be like smack in the middle. So I spent so long just moving the coffee table, shifting over that the tiniest bit, moving the table back, shifting it over a tiny bit, moving the table back, over and over until I finally got it in the middle. So then we just need to lighten the place up a bit, size down some spotlights and hide them in other lights as well, because the other ones don't tend to give off much light. So just to brighten the place up a bit, do that, and then get the wallpapers done and we can make our way upstairs. I really struggled to choose for the wallpaper and things, for the kitchen especially, because I really wanted those reds and greens for the walls, but I wanted something textured and not a lot of tiles went with that. But in the end, I ended up going for some wooden paneling because I just needed something with texture. Because the paint is nice and all, but I always feel like it's kind of bland. It doesn't go as nice in a room. It feels like there's something missing sometimes when it's just a plain painted wall. So we definitely needed something with texture. But now we've got the walls done, we can make our way upstairs. For the upstairs, I was not sure how to lay things out because as usual, I went into this build without any plan whatsoever. But I did have more of a plan this time than usual because I was using pictures for inspiration from Pinterest, but normally I've got no plan what I'm doing. But when I made my way upstairs, I realised the shape of this house is odd and it makes it really difficult to be able to lay out all the rooms because it's kind of in an L shape. But I managed to work out a way. I wanted as many rooms as I could because like normal, I had no idea who lived here yet. So I didn't know how many Sims I had, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I went for 3 bedrooms. One of them is a shared room between 2 kids. Then we've got the teens' bedroom and the parents. Each one of them have their own bathroom. The parents have an ensuite and the kids each have their own bathroom. I think the kids have a slightly bigger one, and then we've got a sort of hobby area. So the hallway is just all kind of skill building area. We've got a little fireplace and a bit to sit. We've got like bookshelves so they can take a little book round there and sit at the fire. They've got a computer, painting, everything they kind of need, and obviously all the Christmas decor as well. I think the Christmas decor is what took the longest in this build. It was constantly having to come back and forth to add in little bits of like greenery, some bows, different things like that, removing walls so I can alt place them on the front of objects like the chest of drawers and stuff. That took the longest to do. which is a little bit too realistic. It always takes forever to get all Christmas decorations sorted and everything down, and then having to decorate all of the tree and everything as well. We created like me and my mum, so we have all the Christmas decks up in the attic, and then when it comes to like time to bring them down, it's far too heavy. Like me and my mum cannot move the tree and everything else down on our own. But like you gotta do what you gotta do, so we need to work out a way. So we, for a while, tried to do some kind of pulley system where we tied a gigantic string around the tree box, and she would hold the string and lower it down to me as I tried to catch the tree box. So she was taking some of the weight as I tried to lower it down to the ground. So we both kept a bit of the weight, and we had to try and do the same thing to get the tree back up afterwards, just using this weird pulley system with a bit of string. It just never goes well, and there's always fake snow everywhere. It's like all over the carpet, it's everywhere. You don't know where it came from. Glitter is on everything, and you swear you don't even have any glitter decorations, but it's somehow everywhere. And always little bits of tinsel, but you don't even remember bringing the tinsel down. Like, it's just stuff everywhere constantly. This year, getting the Christmas decorations down was a mess. Like, we got them down fine, got them downstairs into the living room. My mum, she's the kind of person who's like, she's got a set way she wants things to be. If you start putting decorations on the tree, she's going to tell you it's wrong and move it somewhere else. So it's better for all people involved if you just let her do her thing. So I went upstairs, probably in Sims or something, and just let her do her thing. And then I suddenly hear her screaming. And it's like the kind of scream where I'm like on edge, I know something's wrong. Then she starts shouting help over and over. And I was like, no one shouts help for no reason. So I panicked, ran out of my room, run downstairs, and I find her holding the living room door shut, standing on the outside of the living room, holding the door shut, keeping it closed. And I was like, what's going on? And then she tells me that there's a gigantic wasp flying about our living room. We have no idea where it came from, but it wasn't there before the Christmas decorations came down. So we can only assume that it was in a box or something. But it makes no sense because it's winter. They've all died out. There shouldn't be any wasps. But my mum said that it was like not moving as much at first, so she didn't notice it until it started properly moving around. But it wasn't even buzzing. And we think maybe they were like slowly dying, but when we brought them into the warmth kind of woke them up a bit. They got out of the cold of the attic and it kind of woke it up. It was flying about. So we were completely panicking. We didn't know what to do, how to get rid of this wasp or anything. And then I started going up the stairs and noticed this black thing sitting on the stairs. I could just make it out in the dark. And it was another wasp. There was another one and it was in the hallway. So I couldn't get away from it because I was in the hall. So I ran into the kitchen and just screamed that there was another one, shut the kitchen door. So now my mum's stuck in the hall with this one, but that one wasn't as lively yet. It hadn't started flying. So we didn't know what to do. We didn't know if there was more of them. We didn't know where they were coming from. We don't know if that means that there's a nest in our attic now. We have no idea what any of this means, but we were in full-blown panic. And they were massive. The first one, it was so big that we genuinely thought it was a queen. So when we saw the second one and saw it was the same kind of size, we were like, what type of wasp is this? Like, they were huge. So that was a lovely start to the Christmas period, because that was us just getting down the decorations, trying to get in festive kind of spirits. Like, just such a lovely way to start it. I had that big Christmas family dinner I spoke about as well in the last video that we were all getting together for on the Saturday. We've had that now. There was 20 of us around the table. We had to have a whole room to ourselves just to fit a table long enough for us all. It was insane. It was very loud for like the entirety of the time we were there. It was like so loud. You could hear everyone's laugh from like ages away, everyone chatting. People were so far away at the table as well that like I could not even see my sister. She was at the other end of the table. I could barely make it out. Like, there was far too many of us there. Oh, and we had Christmas crackers, and I managed to pull one with my aunt and won it, and inside was a tiny little Sudoku thing and a tiny little pencil. And I'm not even gonna lie, every so often I'd glance at it and I was like, oh, 7, and I'd like grab the pencil and fill it in. I was literally sitting at the table, be talking, eating, whatever, and I'd just glance down, and if I just spotted one, I had to fill it in. So I was literally sitting doing a Sudoku all throughout this entire thing. My family are all very loud people. I'm like the quietest one in my family, but they're funny, I know. I remember like I went outside during the meal, and when I stepped outside, I saw my cousins and a couple of my uncles, all the kind of smokers in the family outside. And my cousin turned around to me and he was like, "Do you know, I've quit smoking. I'm not smoking at all." It was like, "I've not smoked in months, not even one cigarette." And I was like, "Then what's that in your hand?" Like, what? And he was like, "Doesn't count, it's not mine. My uncle gave it to me." That is not how it works. Oh, and I had quite a few little autistic moments. I don't know if you know anyone who is autistic or are yourself, but some autistic people they take things literally. It's just like one of the traits. Some people have got it, some people don't. I always think that I don't. I always think like, oh no, I don't take everything literally. And then I'll have the odd little moment where I'm like, yeah, I kind of do, never mind. And at this Christmas dinner, my uncle's girlfriend, she turned around to me. I stood up at the table and I had my coat on. And she turned around to me and she was like, "Oh, your coat's so cute. I wish I could like wear one like that. I wish I could try it on." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I took off the coat and I gave it to her. And all my aunties started laughing and everyone was like, "She's actually taking off the coat." And I didn't realise until they all said that. And I was like, "Oh, that's just a polite thing that people say. We just say, 'Oh, that's so cute. I wish I could try that on. I wish I could wear that.' Doesn't actually mean that you should just take off your coat and hand it to someone." Which was news to me because I genuinely thought someone being like, "Oh, that's so cute. I wish I could wear a coat like that," was like an actual question, being like, "Can I wear it?" So, news to me, if you're ever in that situation, do not take off your coat and give it to the person. Now the build's all done, let's start on making the family that's going to live here. I don't want this video to be too long. It's already like half an hour. So instead, I'm going to show you the actual process of making one sim and then I'll just show you the end results for the rest of the family. So CAS is not my strong suit and never know what I'm doing, and I basically just use the first preset to just start me off on a face and then start tweaking it to try and get something slightly different. But I swear I'm just, you know, those people who all their sims look the same. That's me. That's who I am. So by no means know what I'm doing with CAS. But for fun, let's just make a family. So we'll start with like the mum of this household. Now, Christmas time is here at Simsmas, and nothing is more fun than getting new Sims expansions and things like that for Christmas. So, if you've ever thought about treating yourself or someone else to a new kit, expansion, whatever, Instant Gaming has plenty discounts. You can get things on amazing prices over there. And if you've ever wanted to think of a way of supporting this channel, using the link in my description the next time that you buy something from Instant Gaming really helps me out and lets them know that you came from my videos. Oh, also, obviously they do more than Sims, so you don't have to just buy Sims games. Any game you want, they have amazing discounts for every single type of game. Now we've got that out of the way, let me introduce you to the family that will be living in this house. I chose a random kinda Christmassy last name and random generated their first names. So first we have Catherine Bell, who's the mum of this household. Catherine is generous, a little bit of a foodie, and she's a bookworm. She aspires to be a master chef one day and has the essence of flavour trait as well because of that. For every day, I went with just this nice red jumper, some Christmassy colours. We got the same sort of thing for her formal, some Christmassy colours, a green long dress for this one. Her athletic is just simple, whatever I could throw together with some kind of red tones. Sticking to that red and green throughout all of her outfits. I even kind of turned that red lipstick into almost like a signature thing in this family. Her husband is Dylan Bell. He's a love bug, he's a bit neat, and he's also a family-oriented sim. He aspires to be a super parent, giving him the domestic trait. I looked for something formal that was in the kind of red and green colour scheme, but I really felt like this just suited him somehow. Oh, and I decided to use some of the life and death stuff for his party wear because I've not really used much of it yet. I also love the little shirt and waistcoat that he has for his hot weather. I feel like I use this one a lot, but I just love the texture and the kind of colours and pattern to it. I just really love it. Their daughter, Michaela Bell, is self-assured and she wants to be the playtime captain. For her everyday, I just thought this was so cute. It's a kind of wintry sort of feel, but I just love the little skirt, the tights, the wee kind of jumper. It almost feels like a sort of jumperish material that top has, and then the little hat, the boots, I just was in love with it. I also decided to create them all through random genetics based off the parents because I wanted it to just randomly choose on its own the sort of hair texture, colour and skin tone each child had. Now her twin brother is Jaden Bell. He has the genius trait and the mind and body aspiration. This is where, while filming, I suddenly forgot about the whole being able to choose their cause of death thing, and I was like, what is that question mark? And I had to check it out. But first we have his everyday. For his formal, I thought the little red shirt and the cute little bow tie, I just thought that was adorable. I thought that children had little Christmassy jammies, but I think it's only the adults that have that, so I just gave them the kind of blue checkered jammy set. Now their big sister, a teenager, is Madeline Bell. Madeline is creative and a music lover. She aspires to be a musical genius, giving her the muser trait. Her everyday, I'm in love with the little jumper and then the skirt, the little knee-high socks, the boots. I don't know what it is, I just was obsessed with this outfit. For formal, we just have a simple red dress, still in that kind of Christmassy colour scheme. For athletic, I would have loved to have a red and green top, but blue is the best I could do, so we've got red and blue. But I wish we could choose the colour of hair accessories, because in her everyday she has silver jewellery, but in her formal she has more gold tones, and the clip in the back of her hair is silver, and I just wish that we could change the colour depending on outfit. I've seen Cece where you can alter the colour of like a bow in the hair or things like that. I would just wish that we could do that with actual Sims stuff, because there's so often I have things where the hair's so cute but their jewellery is gold and I'm like, it doesn't go. Like, I also only noticed as I was clicking through there that I had her in the wrong shoes. They were in the wrong colour, so I fixed that. But now we've got our main family of 5 all sorted. Let me show you the kind of family guests I've got staying with them for Christmas. Richard Linton is the granddad of the family. He's adventurous, he's neat, he's proper, and he wants a big happy family, giving him the domestic trait. His wife, the granny of the family, she is Misty Linton. She is wise, which is a new trait I'd never seen before, I'd never noticed it. She's also family oriented and a cat lover, and she wants a big happy family too. Then we have the fun, cool auntie. This is Aubrey Linton. She is aspiring to be a Renaissance sim, giving her the quick learner trait. She's also a music lover, she's self-assured, and she's an art lover. They are all Catherine Bell's side of the family, so that's her sister and her parents. But now we've got this big happy family. Let me show you the entire house and how they all are together in it. Also, it started snowing by the time I did this, which just made the house look even better in my opinion. So first we've got the family living room where you can see that vision I mentioned before. We've got the kid playing on the piano, them all playing family games together on the couches. We have the kitchen where, if you hadn't noticed yet, the one object that I had missed was the fridge, the only thing you need in a kitchen. The mum and the son are cooking Christmas dinner. The auntie is having a little drink to herself. And then if we make our way back through the kitchen and out the living room, we can head upstairs and take a look at all the rooms complete. I just want to take this second to give one last little reminder that this is the Merry Simsmas collab and that the hashtag is hashtag Merry Simsmas collab. So you should definitely check it out to see everyone else who contributed to this. I'm so thankful so many people got on board for this collab, and it's going to be so cool to see everyone's videos and posts for it. This is our little skill building area with everything your Sim's going to need. We've got painting, we've got the logic skill with the chessboard, we've got a computer here, we've got bookshelves, we've got a nice little cozy fire and everything for them to sit around. That last bathroom was what I imagine as the teens one, and then next we've got the parents' bedroom. Their room, I think, might be my favourite bedroom for this build. I just love all the Christmassy decor. I think it really all came together in this room. Then we have the parents' ensuite, which is just a small little bathroom. I absolutely love all the little presents around the chest of drawers in this room. And then if we come back around through the hallway, we can head into the bathroom. This is probably the biggest bathroom that this build has. It's only now when I'm recording all of this that I realised as I did my walkthrough, I forgot the teens' bedroom. But it's not a simple thing of just adding in a scene of the teens' room. I need to line up the camera for each one, so I'd have to refilm the entire thing from outside the house, going all round downstairs and back upstairs again. So hopefully, I'm presuming that I added in photos, so I'm hoping you've already looked at photos of the teens' room. Which is funny because as of right now, me recording this voiceover, I have not even taken any photos, but you'll have already seen them. So now we've checked out all of downstairs, made our way back through. Let's go out the back door and take a look at the outside. Here is our swimming pool that, as of currently, with it being in winter, will make them freeze to death. Fence the thing off if your sim is too eager. Here's their little sitting area, and I did not realise that Sims allows snow to build up on pillows. That's such a cute little feature. Okay, but now we're finally all done. This was a long one. Let me know if you prefer my 10-15 minutes or if you would like the odd video that's a long one. But we're finally all done, the house is all built, and we're ready for Simsmas. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the build. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope you have an amazing Simsmas. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you're gonna do, and I'll see you next time. See ya!